the league versus Caitlin Clark. And that is just absolutely false. It is unfair to the women that have been there building this league to this moment so that Caitlin Clark's popularity could take it to the...
All right, folks, buckle up. Today's courtroom battle begins with tension and escalates from there. Christopher Bushnell faces quite serious allegations in court. When his name is announced, you can sense the weight in the room. Charged with dangerous behavior using a firearm. He is already in trouble, but things worsen when the court finds he tested positive for marijuana just days before the hearing. The judge chastises him for violating probation terms and questions his willingness to jeopardize his freedom again. The issue is more than simply the cannabis, but also the contempt for second chances. The judge emphasizes that this will not be taken lightly.
3 years ago, you were not talking about the W at this level. Don't do that.
Guys.
Nobody was, Monica. You making Stephen A. point, Monica. Monica, you making Stephen A. point.
The response of folks that don't think she is praised enough and she is above reproach in terms of criticism, or that praising another player is an affront to her is like, whoa, bro. Like, also, like, you're in my mentions talking about women's basketball. I've never ever seen you before in my life.
Stephen A., respectfully, with your platform, you could have been doing this 3 years ago if you wanted to.
All right, we gotta go.
Stephen A., I'm talking to you. Wow. Don't do that. I'm talking to you about the power that you have.
Really appreciate
you my girl, but you've missed a lot of episodes of...
Clark's impact is viewed differently by both Molly Cum and others.
Based on the standing.
Okay.
Because I think that is how you have the opportunity to measure impact.
And the sky's right above them.
And the Sky right now are in the playoffs, so you'd have to give the nod in my mind.
In part 2, Bushnell attempts to justify his actions, causing things to soon escalate. He claims to have smoked marijuana 2 days before to his court date. The judge expresses displeasure, citing the folly of engaging in criminal activity before to a sentence hearing. The mood in the courtroom becomes cold. The defense proposes releasing him with a monitor, but the judge rejects the idea. He's watched the movie previously. A second chance is still a missed opportunity. Bushnell squandered previous opportunities, and the court must balance leniency with public safety. The probation review has escalated into a far more serious situation.
Literally cashed in, but her attention, her notoriety is based off Caitlin Clark. She wins the national title. First thing she does, she mocks Caitlin Clark. And then she doesn't even celebrate with her teammates. So she's made it personal with Caitlin Clark. Then she's played off of that. Even Caitlin Clark getting knocked down in that game on Saturday, who's standing up applauding, but Angel...
Caitlin is fantastic, and I think she's going to have an incredible career in the WNBA. There are women that were worthy of coverage prior to her arriving, and I just will not be silent.
Game is physical. Caitlin is helping to grow the league. These women understand that, but she cannot be babied as a rookie. That's all.
There were a lot of people that laid the groundwork that deserve shine as well. Here's what we're going to do.
Are they playing now?
Here's what we're going to do.
Are they playing now?
We don't have Andrea.
Remember, you got
we don't have any of the women, Chene. They'll come back on. We'll revisit this conversation.
As the courtroom hears from Bushnell's co-defendant, things take a grim turn. Unlike Bushnell, Blunt seemed to recognize the gravity of the situation. He accepts culpability without making any excuses. Unlike Bushnell, the judge listens attentively. The contrast is clear. One offender faces accountability, while the other appears unconcerned about the consequences of his acts. Blunt's demeanor benefits him and demonstrates the impact of respect for the process. However, the judge warns him that being respectful does not guarantee a light punishment. This still involves a dangerous weapon and risky activity.
Be dogged by better defenders one-on-one, and of course on the defensive end, she's got to go play defense. So I'm not sure what the scheme will be to protect her, because nobody has talked about her as a defender. And there's
That's exactly what I'm saying, because I think it makes a mockery of the women's game. If the focus on, now we just have to have people because of marketing and their attention, and they're not as talented, and we're not putting the best team out.
But when you were waving your hand in Caitlin Clark's face when you were beating her for the national championship, everybody remembered then that you belonged in the WNBA and your future was going to be on the pro level. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Return to Bushnell. This time, there is no way out. The judge sharply criticizes Bushnell's behavior. Bushnell's inability to comply with basic probation rules raises concerns about his trustworthiness. The defense team's arguments about maturity and development fail to persuade the judge. Bushnell took his shot in court, not during a therapy session. The hush in the room is almost palpable as truth hits home. Bushnell is unable to provide answers to the judge's questions. He selected a gun. He chose drugs and now faces the consequences of both.
Injury? Let's be real. I literally played with my ankle like a golf ball, like a little golf ball when we played against Iowa. And like pain, I'm hurt when like I can't play. Like they gonna have to tell me like you shut down, like you can't play. That's what they was telling me yesterday. Like you shut down, like you can't.
A WNBA Player of the Week. Surprise, surprise. Indiana Fever rookie sensation, Caitlin Clark. There's nothing really to say other than that. She's winning Rookie of the Year. She's a top candidate for League MVP honors. She ain't beating Asia Wilson for the MVP, but she's beating Angel Reese for Rookie of the Year. That's a wrap. That's over.
And her fourth in betting odds on being MVP of the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's basketball a
effect is definitely real. I mean, we can all see that. However, experiencing it in person is totally different. I was at the Fever in Indiana game last night, and the amount of 22s that I saw on the way to the arena and inside the Capital One Arena might as well have just been a home game for Caitlin Clark. Not Indiana, Caitlin Clark. The thing is, that didn't surprise me. But what did surprise me was how packed.
The attention now moves to the community repercussions of Bushnell's actions. The judge highlights the dangers of young people misusing firearms and emphasizes that probation is not a playground. This is not about punishing Bushnell for being harsh. It's about defending others. The marijuana infraction is only one aspect of the situation. The true issue is behavior that displays no regard for consequences. Judges frequently have to decide between rehabilitation and removal. Bushnell is forcing his hand. His behaviors indicate he is not prepared to re-enter society without structure. In such cases, judicial leniency becomes risky, and judges refuse to play with lives.
Scored 110. That was a WNBA record. And on top of it all, she dropped 35. Caitlin Clark, and obviously she's leading the league in assists and all this other stuff. She's phenomenal. She just is.
Listen to, honestly, because I'm in season. I have other things that we need to worry about than what other people have to say. I have a scout. I have 11 other minds on my team and in my locker room that we got to make sure that we're on the same mindset. So I really can't give you the best answer on that because I really don't pay any attention to it. My goal is just to go out there and be the best that I can be for my teammates, both on and off the court, and we're going to go out there and be us.
The first player in WNBA history to lead the league in assists and three-pointers made, and she has now scored the most points by a guard in a single season in WNBA history. As a rookie, also the first person in history to lead the league in assists and being top 10 in points. I don't think y'all understand how difficult that is.
The punishment verdict is harsh, but expected. The judge sentenced Bushnell to 5 years in TDC, emphasizing that probation is not a free ride. The judge's voice conveys disappointment rather than excitement. Bushnell was given opportunities that many others do not have, yet he squandered them all. The courtroom is not immune to the gravity of the situation. As Bushnell is hauled away, there is no drama, only silence. A once promising young guy is now struggling. This was not inevitable. Ignoring warnings repeatedly was a decision. The judge's tone is apparent. This was preventable. That's what makes it tragic. All right, folks. What a roller coaster. This case demonstrates the consequences of ignoring responsibility, including missed opportunities and a 5-year sentence. Christopher Bushnell had numerous opportunities to improve his situation, but he failed to do so. Despite his disappointment with the outcome, the judge refused to allow second opportunities go to waste. Mario Blunt exemplified accountability, but his approach may differ. The courthouse serves as a line between second chances and last cautions, highlighting its importance beyond just punishment. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.